Hello everyone, this is Akansha Parate from MIT ADT University, and today we have with us Dr. Ganapati Yadav sir. So sir, nowadays word chemical is misinterpreted. Like if we say word chemical, we consider it as harmful. So what would you say to clear up this misunderstanding?
It's a very nice concept, actually a question rather. People are misunderstanding of many things. Suppose I say dihydrogen oxide, you will think it is a water, and I say I'm going to give a dose of dihydrogen oxide. You will say, oh, sorry, I don't want it. But it is water, you know that. So, see why people have this misconception, because they think, they associate everything with some of the accidents which took place in chemical industry, like the Bhopal accident. But believe me, chemistry is life. Nothing can be done without chemicals. Everything what you see, whatever you are holding in your hand and your body and everything, it is a produce of chemical industry. All these electronic industries produce of chemical industry. The chips which you are making, the mobile phone which you have, 20 different components are used in that, including polymers and metals and whatnot. We require silicon which has to be parts per million purity, sometimes billion purity, gallium arsenide or whatever. So you cannot do anything without chemistry and chemicals. So I will tell you, in 2001, to be precise, on 17th February, I was in Bhubaneswar and I was the president of Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers. So there, the secretary, the chief secretary was the chief guest. He said, Bhubaneswar will be called Cybereshwar. We are going to close chemical industry. So since I was in the chair, I said, my dear sir, I will educate you, because if you think that chemicals are not required, you could have said pollution is not required. But if you say chemicals are not required, nothing will be there on your body. Everything from top to bottom is a produce of chemical industry. So you'll have to go to antiquity, the Stone Age. So this kind of thing, people have misconceptions because they think that chemicals are not required. Show me 3 man-made objects or anything, whichever is there, without the use of chemicals, and I will give you 100 crore rupees. I don't have 100 crore. But at the same time, since 2008 in England, UK, somebody gave this challenge. 100 million pounds sterling he will give if somebody shows that anything which they make in this world, man-made thing, is without chemicals. There is none. Till today, nobody has got it. And interestingly, I said I said that time God is a chemical engineer. And in fact, you showed it in the video there. Why did I say that? Because chemical engineering is a very versatile profession. From atom to atmosphere, nanoscale, microscale, mega scale, everywhere, chemical engineering principles are used. For example, our human body is the best example of, reaction engineering, absorption with reaction and whatnot. So people have this misconception because people attach to that thing. So much so, politicians are responsible for this negative image of chemical industry. You can say that we don't want pollution, and this is what we are talking. My whole research is based on green chemistry, green engineering, sustainability, carbon dioxide, valorization. So what I spoke in my talk a few minutes ago, that was the theme of my research. And I'm trying to convince that sustainability cannot be achieved without this chemistry and chemicals. They are required. You can say that the processes by which you make them should be pollution free. It should not pollute the land, the water or the air. That is what it is. So that is what we have to do. So we have to educate people, and we should educate. That is our job. Anything when there is a misconception, that is why I gave the example of Germany. Germany, they closed down their nuclear power plant, they closed down the coal-based power plant, and the same Germany is now restarted it. And they were trying to tell us, our NGOs were telling us that we should not have them. And why? What has happened? We are almost 4 billion people. We have to look for their energy needs, material needs, food, shelter. We want instant gratification, instant communication. How it has been? It is because of chemicals and chemical industry, and that is what people don't know. So I think I hope I answered your question.
And sir, any piece of advice for young generation?
Well, I tell you what happens. Young generation wants to be famous overnight. They want to be millionaire overnight. They want a fancy Mercedes car overnight. It doesn't happen that way. In real life, you have to work extremely hard. Because I mentioned that I said success, failure is temporary, success is autocatalytic. So you have to take failure in stride. Show me any businessman in the world who made money in the very first year. It takes 2-3 years to make money, and that has to be persistent. And what happens in many cases, the students are not persistent. They give up easily. You should not give up, because success doesn't come just like that. And you read anybody's biography or autobiography, through what hardship they have gone through. So they are not left. So many times we find the so-called bright students fail in life because they are not consistent. They should be. So consistency is the hallmark of success. Once you decide, it's like the slow person wins the race. We talk about, the turtle and all, right? So what it means, if you are consistent, you will win the race. So you have to be consistent. You have to be hardworking. Nobody should take, success for granted. Nobody can say that, oh, I was great in 10th standard, therefore I am great forever. You cannot be. You cannot go on singing the laurels of what you did in the previous years, high school or primary school. Maybe you were first in the class. Does not mean you will be first forever, because when you go into professional courses, there are so many students who come from different backgrounds. They may be smarter than you. And I always told my students, whenever I address these new year students, freshers, and I used to address their parents, tell your what to be on earth. They were stars, they were in the sky, but now they have to land on earth. And that is what is required, that we have to tell the students to be persistent, not to give up anything, and be person of integrity. Integrity is very, very important than any other thing. If you do not have personal integrity, you cannot achieve anything. So integrity is very, very important. Honesty, integrity, and consistency. These are the hallmarks of success.
Thank you, sir, for your wise words. This was Akansha Parate from MIT News.